All right, everybody. It's HackerFrog time. My name is ShyHat, and we are the HackerFrogs. All right, everybody, we've got a jam-packed stream for you today, and we're going to be doing 4 different activities in today's stream. The first activity we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing Advent of Cyber 2024 from TryHackMe.com. So this is a series of 24 days of activities, each covering an easy cybersecurity challenge. I find that the difficulty in pulling off these challenges varies from day to day, but they're definitely not super advanced. And we're going to be doing day 12, which is yesterday's activity first, and then we're going to be moving on to a guided walkthrough activity, and the guided walkthrough activity that we're going to be doing after that is going to be the VulNyx machine over here. This is the first machine from VulNyx. It is a Linux CTF box challenge, and we're going to be doing that maybe about an hour into the stream, and then afterwards we're going to be moving back over to TryHackMe. We're going to be doing the next day. We're going to catch up, and we're going to do day number 13. Day number 13, these 2 days, the topic are both going to be talking about web app security. So first we have web timing attacks, and then we have web sockets. So please look forward to that. Day 13 is going to be the third activity we do today. And then we're going to be wrapping up the stream with a free hacking activity. And free hacking means that we're going to be doing some security activities, exercises that we haven't seen before. And the machine that we're going to be working on today as our free hacking activity is this box right here called Quoted from the HackMyVM.eu website. And this is a Windows box. So we're trying to learn more about Windows hacking these days. And under the notes, it says beginner-friendly, easy Windows box. Well, I'm not too sure whether it's going to be super easy for us noobs, but we'll find out. So the first activity of the day is going to be the Try Hack Me activity. All right. So before that, let's turn on a little bit of music. Okay. So let's see. Hopefully this is not too loud. Okay, so let's get started with day number 12. Once again, this is a guided walkthrough for TryHackMe Advent of Cyber, day 12 from TryHackMe.com. And this is day 12. This is web timing attacks. Let's go. All right, so first of all, Wareville's bank had a huge turnover this year and expected a massive profit before the holiday season. They were easy to disclose this news to the townspeople during the Sockmas celebrations. However, to their surprise, things went the other way around. After completing the annual calculations, the accountants were shocked to see a considerable loss. They observed discrepancies in the account balances. The bank called McSkitty to help investigate the users' fraudulent transactions. Upon analyzing the bank's website's transactional logs, McSkitty found some interesting transactions. Few users, including the mayor's team, initiated multiple transactions from Wareville's reserve accounts at once. Surprisingly, all these transactions succeeded, despite exceeding the user's current balance. Glitch was already aware of the critical vulnerability allowing these fraudulent transactions that Mayor Malware and his alliances exploited. So what are we going to be doing in today's activity? Today's learning objectives are: understand the concept of race condition vulnerabilities, identify the gaps introduced by HTTP2, exploit race conditions in a controlled environment, and learn how to fix the race. Okay, so we need to connect to the machine to finish today's activity, and to do that we need to take a look at the connection card over here. So do we need to start the attack box today? Yes. Do we need to start a VM today? Yes. Okay, so we're going to click on the green start button over here to begin the exercise. So we need to start 2 VMs. The first one is this one over here. we're going to press the green Start Machine button, and then we're going to go up to the top of the TryHackMe page, and we're going to click on this button here, which is labeled Start Attack Box. So the attack box is an attacking machine that we're going to be using to interact with the vulnerable VM. So go ahead and click on the Start Attack Box button over here, and that's going to split the browser pane in two while the attack box initializes over here. It's going to take a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, we're going to take a look at the description for today's challenge. So we're talking about web timing and race conditions. Conventional web applications are relatively easy to understand, identify, and exploit. If there's an issue in the code of a web application, we can force the web application to perform an unintended action by sending specific inputs. These are easy to understand because there's usually a direct relationship between the input and the output. We get bad output when we send bad data, indicating a vulnerability. But what if we can find vulnerabilities using only good data? What if it isn't about the data but how we send it? This is where web timing and race condition attacks come into play. Let's dive into this crazy world and often hidden attack surface. In its simplest form, a web timing attack means we glean information from a web application by reviewing how long it takes to process a request. By making tiny changes in what we send or how we send it and observing the response time, we can assess information we're not authorized to have. Race conditions are a subset of web timing attacks that are even more special. With a race condition attack, we are no longer simply looking to gain access to information, but can cause the web application to perform unintended actions on our behalf. Web timing vulnerabilities can be incredibly subtle. Based on the following research, response time differences ranging from 1300 milliseconds to 5 nanoseconds have been used to stage attacks. Because of their subtle nature, they can also be hard to detect and often require a wide range of testing techniques. However, with the increase in the adoption of HTTP2, they have become a bit easier to find and exploit. Cybernerd Dante says, "Oh man, it's the Shy Hat." Hello Cybernerd Dante, and nice to see you here. We're just going to be doing the first TryHackMe activity over here. This is day 12, and then we're going to move on to day 13. I need to ban somebody. Hold on. Okay. All right. So let's get going. Cybernerd Dante, if feel free to chat. I'm happy to chat while I do the exercise over here. And I hope you're having a good time doing bug bounty hunting these days. All right. So next is the rise of HTTP2. HTTP2 was created as a major update for HTTP, the protocol used for web applications. While most web applications still use HTTP 1.1, there has been a steady increase into the adoption of HTTP2, as it is faster, better for web performance, and has several features that elevate the limitations of HTTP 1.1. However, if implemented incorrectly, some of these new features can be exploited by threat actors using new techniques. A key difference in web timing attacks between HTTP 1.1 and HTTP 2 is that HTTP 2 supports a feature called single packet multi-requests. Network latency, the amount of time it takes for the request to reach the web server, made it difficult to identify web timing issues. It was hard to know whether the time difference was due to a web timing vulnerability or simply a network latency difference. However, when using single packet multi-requests, we can stack multiple requests in the same TCP packet, eliminating network latency from the equation, meaning time differences can be attributed to different processing times for the requests. This is explained more in the animation below. Okay, so what do we see? So we've got the server sending a response, and then the browser sending a request, and it takes a certain amount of time. But we can send multiple requests, and then we get multiple responses back. And this results in a time difference of 3 milliseconds. With network latency a thing of the past, only server latency remains, making it significantly easier to detect timing issues and exploit them to recover sensitive information. Typical timing attacks. Timing attacks can often be divided into two main categories. Information disclosures. Leveraging the differences in response delays, a threat actor can uncover information they should not have access to. For example, timing differences can be used to enumerate the usernames of an application, making it easier to stage a password guessing attack and gain access to accounts. Race conditions. Race conditions are similar to business logic flaws in that a threat actor can cause the application to perform unintended actions. However, the issue's root cause is how the web application processes requests, making it possible to cause the race condition. For example, if we send the same coupon request several times simultaneously, it might be possible to apply it more than once. For the rest of this task, we will focus on race conditions. We will take a look at the time of check, time of use, the TalkTo flaw. Let's use an example to explain this, as shown in the animation below. So we've got information coming between the client and the server. The time, request number 1 applies the discount code. Request number 2 also applies the discount code. The first request applies the discount, and then it sets the flag for already used for the coupon. But because we send more than one at the same time, then they can both be set before the flag for already used for the coupon becomes valid. When the user submits their coupon code and the actual code of the web application, at some point, we perform a check that the coupon is valid and hasn't been used before. We apply the discount, and only then do we update the coupon code to indicate that it has already been used. In this example, because our check if the coupon is valid and our update of the coupon being used, there are a couple of milliseconds where we apply the coupon. While this may seem small, if a threat actor can send 2 requests so close together in time, it might happen that before the coupon is updated in request 1, it has already been checked in request 2, meaning that both requests will apply the coupon. Winning the race. Now that you understand basic concepts related to race conditions, let's explore how this vulnerability occurs in a real-world scenario. For this, we will take the example of the Wareville banking application hosted on this IP address right here. So we can actually copy this. Okay. This application allows users to log in and transfer funds between accounts. Intercepting the request. Before we start intercepting requests, we need to configure the environment so that as a pen tester, all web traffic from our browser will be routed through Burp Suite. This allows us to see and manipulate the requests as we browse. We will use Burp Suite, a powerful web application scanner, a web vulnerability scanner, to intercept and modify the requests for this exploitation. You can access Burp Suite in the attack box. On the desktop of the attack box, you will see the Burp Suite icon as shown below. Okay, so in our attack box here, we're going to click into the terminal and hit enter to dismiss it, and then we're going to start up Burp Suite. Burp Suite is accessed through this icon right here. This is the Burp Suite Community Edition. So go ahead and click on that icon, and Burp Suite is going to start up. It should take a few moments to start up because there's a lot of stuff to load in. So we're just going to wait for it to complete, but in the meantime, let's take a look over here. So I think I know enough about Burp Suite to be able to guide you through the rest of this. And what we're going to do, when this screen appears over here, we're going to click on this orange Next button over here, and then we're going to click on the orange Start Burp button over here. So after we do that, we have to configure Burp Suite in a couple of ways before we can use it. Okay, so after we close out this window over here, we're going to go to the settings page, and in the settings page, we need to go down to this section over here called Burp's Browser. So when we do that, we're going to see this section here labeled Browser Running. And we need to click on this button over here that says Allow Burp's browser to run without a sandbox. So go ahead and click on that, and then we're done. So we can just click on this button over here in the settings to close the window. After that, we go over to the Proxy tab. So inside of Burp Suite, we start at the dashboard. We can move over to different tabs in the application. We need to move over to Proxy, and then we need to click on this button over here that is labeled Intercept On. So Intercept On means that every web packet that is sent to the browser is going to be intercepted. We do not want that. So we're just going to click on this blue button over here so that it says Intercept Off. That's the setting we want. After that, we want to open the Burp browser. So we can do that from the same menu over here, Proxy, Intercept, and then we can click on this button over here, Open Browser. So after we click the button, it's going to take a couple of moments to load up. But this is this web browser that we're opening right now is directly connected to Burp Suite and is going to be able to proxy all of the traffic from the web browser over to Burp Suite. So after that, we need to go over to the web address over here. So under Winning the Race, we need to copy this web address here. Copy that, and then go over to the control panel over here. It's in the middle of the screen. Click on it. Click on the clipboard here, and then paste in the IP address. After that, we're going to close out the clipboard, and then in the Burp browser, paste in the URL and hit enter. Okay, so we're now logged into the we're now on the application page, login page here. So in order to access the page, we need to use some special credentials. So here, we need to use these set of credentials over here, account number and password. So the account number is going to be 110, and the password is going to be tester. And then after that, hit the login button here. Oh, it says invalid number or password. That's did I make a spelling mistake? Okay, so it's 110, and the password is TESTER, tester. Click on login. Okay, now we're logged in. Great. So this is an application where we can transfer money between bank accounts, and we see that in the tester account we've got a balance of $1,000, and we can also specify a bank account to transfer money to as well as an amount. Okay. So the instructions here want us to send $500 to another bank account with the account number 111. So that's what we're going to do. So target account number, we're going to click into here and choose 111. And under amount to transfer, we're going to choose 500. And then we're going to click on the transfer button over here. Okay. After that, we see a success message over here. That's great. And after that, we don't need to use this Burp browser for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this button over here to minimize the Burp browser window. After that, we can look for the transfer request inside of Burp Suite. So this is Burp Suite, and we're going to click on Proxy and then HTTP history, and then after that we're going to look for the request where we posted the transfer. So we see here that this request right here, the post request, the method is post, and the URL goes to transfer. We're going to click on that, and then afterwards we're going to send this to the repeater, because what we want to do is we want to play around with this request to take advantage of the race condition. So we're going to, in this request window here, we're going to right click, and then we're going to select send to repeater. So after we right click, select send to repeater, and then you'll see the repeater tab light up orange like this. So after that, we can click on repeater here, and this is the request that we can send over and over again to transfer money. Okay, and the request has all sorts of different HTTP headers over here that we're sending to the server, as well as the body of the request over here, which is the account number and the amount to send over here. Okay. So we're just going to skip all this part over here. Okay, so we've navigated to the Repeater tab, where you can find the post request that needs to be triggered multiple times to take advantage of the race condition. We can change the account number from 111 and the amount from 500 to any other value in the request as well, as shown below. So over here, we could change this to any other amount, but for this example, we're not going to. So place the mouse cursor inside the request, inside the Repeater tab in Burp Suite, and press Ctrl R to duplicate the tab. Press Ctrl R 10 times to have 10 duplicate requests ready for testing. So over here, we've got one Repeater tab that is ready for testing. We're going to click into the request over here, and then we're going to use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl R, and we're going to create 9 more. So hit Ctrl R once, and that's going to create the second tab, and then we're going to repeat that 8 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to see that we have a total of 10 tabs over here. Okay, so now that we have 10 requests ready, we want to send them simultaneously. While one option is to manually click the send button in each tab individually, we aim to send them in parallel. To do this, click on the plus icon next to request 10 and select Create Tab Group. So over here, this plus button over here in the in Burp Suite, we're going to click on it, and then we're going to select Create Tab Group. That's going to group all of these tabs, these 10 request tabs all together. And we're just going to call this, I think they want us to call this Funds. And after that, we're going to click on the Add Tabs to Group. So we need to add all these 10 tabs to the group, so we just need to click on each one of them individually until we have all 10 of them selected. So after that's done, we're going to click on the Create button here. Okay. And you should see that there's a tab created over here called Funds 10, and that contains all 10 of these request tabs. Okay. So we've just done this over here. So now we are ready to launch multiple copies of our HTTP post requests simultaneously to exploit the race condition vulnerability. Select Send Group in Parallel Last Byte Sync in the drop-down menu next to the Send button. So the Send button is over here, but there's another drop-down button over here. We need to select this, and we need to select this option over here, Send Group in Parallel Last Byte Sync. So click on that, and then click this button to send all the duplicated requests in our tab group at the same time as shown below. So just go ahead and click on Send Group in Parallel button over here. So click on that button, and we see once all the requests have been sent, navigate to the tester account in the browser and check the current balance. You will notice that the tester's balance is negative because we successfully transferred more funds than we were available in the account, exploiting the race condition vulnerability. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to minimize Burp Suite with this button here, and then we're going to go back to the Burp browser, and in the Burp browser we're going to click on the Reload button. So we see here that the tester's account balance is in the negatives. It's negative 4,500, and normally this is not possible because as soon as we hit a zero balance, or if the request would have taken us into the negative, it would have prevented us from doing so. By duplicating 10 requests and sending them in parallel, we are instructing the system to make 10 simultaneous requests, each deducting $500 from the tester account and sending it to account 111111. In a correctly implemented system, the application should have processed the first request, locked the database, then process the remaining requests individually. However, due to the race condition, the application handles these requests abruptly, resulting in a negative balance in the tester account and an inflated balance in account 111. Verifying through source code. Suppose you are a penetration tester with access to the application's source code, as in a white box testing scenario. In that case, you can identify potential race condition vulnerabilities through a code review. By analyzing the code, you can pinpoint areas where multiple database operations are performed without proper transaction handling. Below is the Python code that handles the funds transfer. So we've got this code over here that updates the user account, okay? And then it, okay. In the above code, if user balance is greater than or equal to amount, the application first updates the recipient's balance with the command update user set balance equals balance plus question mark where account number equals question mark, followed by a commit. Then it updates the sender's balance using update users set balance equal balance minus question mark where account number equals question mark, and commits again. Since these updates are committed separately and not part of a single atomic transaction, there's no locking or proper synchronization between these operations. This lack of a transaction or locking mechanism makes the code vulnerable to race conditions, as concurrent requests could interfere with balance updates. Time for some action. Now that you understand the vulnerability, can you assist Glitch in validating it using the account number 101 and the password glitch? Attempt to exploit the vulnerability by transferring over $2,000 from his account to the account number 111. Okay, so let's do this. So over here, what we're going to do is we're going to get a test scenario. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to log out. So click on the logout button here. And then we need to log in using account number 101 and the password glitch as indicated over here. So it's going to be account 101 and password glitch. And then click on login. Okay, so we see here that in the glitch account, we've got $2,000. What we need to do is we need to transfer more than $2,000 over to account 111 in order to demonstrate the race condition vulnerability. So we're going to do this transfer money transaction. Target account number is going to be 111, and amount to transfer, let's try 1,500. Okay, so this is going to bring our balance close to zero, about 500, but it's not going to bring us into the negative. So actually, it needs to be higher than that. Let's try 1,000. Okay, so let's do 1,000 to transfer, and then click on transfer. And then it says success. All right, so we've successfully gotten the request for that post. So what we're going to do is we're going to minimize our burp browser again. Click on this button. And then we're going to go over to Burp Suite. So in Burp Suite, this button right here, we're going to go over to the proxy HTTP history again, and we're going to go down, and we're going to look for the transfer that happened most recently. So we've got our packets. They're all organized by time and date. So the most recent one is over here. It's 35 for me. It might be something else for you. But we're looking for the post method, and we're looking for the transfer endpoint again. So go ahead and click on that. And then down in the request window over here, we need to right click and then select send to repeater. So go ahead and click on that. And then go over to the repeater tab. And in the repeater tab, what we need to do is we need to make 10 copies of this. We need to make 10 copies of this request as well. So click into the repeater tab into the request, and then use the Control-R shortcut 9 times. So I'm just going to count it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to press the plus button over here. And then we're going to create a tab group again. And in the tab group, we're going to add the tabs 11 to 20. So it's going to be just like this. And then after that, we're going to click on the create button. We should probably name this one too. So I guess we're going to name this one test, and then we're going to click on the create button here. So after we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the drop down button over here beside send, and then we're going to click on send group in parallel last byte sync one more time. Okay, and we want to make sure that we have test this tab group selected. Okay, and then we're going to click on the send group parallel button. Okay, after we've done that, we can minimize Burp Suite and then go over to the Burp browser. And in the Burp browser, we're going to reload the page. So we see here that the balance is minus 9,000, and we received a flag over here. So the flag is THM won the race, so we can copy this. And then we can go over to the control panel. In the control panel, we can highlight the flag and copy it, and then close the clipboard, and we can go down and submit the flag. What is the value flag after transferring over $2,000 from Glitch's account? We're going to paste in the flag and click on submit. Okay, so we're going to go back up here and we're going to finish off the room. So fixing the race. The developer did not properly handle concurrent requests in the bank's application, leading to a race condition vulnerability during fund transfers. When multiple requests were sent in parallel, each deducting and transferring funds, the application processed them simultaneously without ensuring proper synchronization. This resulted in inconsistent account balances, such as negative balances in the sender's account and excess funds in the recipient's account. Here are some of the preventative measures to fix the race. Use atomic transactions. The developer should have implemented atomic database transactions to assure that all steps of a fund transfer, deducting and crediting balances, are performed as a single unit. This would ensure that either all steps of the transaction succeed or none do, preventing partial updates that could lead to an inconsistent state. Implementing mutex locks. By using mutex locks, the developer could have ensured that only one thread accesses the shared resource, such as the account balance, at a time. This would prevent multiple requests from interfering with each other during concurrent transactions. Apply rate limits. The developer should have implemented rate limiting on critical functions like fund transfers and withdrawals. This would limit the number of requests processed within a specific time frame, reducing the risk of abuse through rapid, repeated requests. Okay, so we already got the flag, so we have effectively finished the task. So over here, if you enjoyed the task, feel free to check out the race conditions room. We can click on complete, and then, when balances shift and numbers soar, look for an entry in open door. So this is probably some sort of hint as to the hidden challenges for this year's event, but we're not going to cover that. We're just going to click on complete, and then we'll be completed the challenge. Alright, so this was a guided walkthrough of the TryHackMe Advent of Cyber Day 12 event. If you enjoyed this walkthrough, please click on the like and subscribe buttons on the YouTube video. But otherwise, we will see you next time. Alright everybody, so we finished the activity. So what we're going to do is we're going to close out our We're going to close out our attack box machine over here, and then we're going to close out the task VM by clicking on the terminate button over here. Okay, done. Great. All right, so we can move on to the next to our next activity, and the next activity is going to be a guided walkthrough, another guided walkthrough. But let me turn the music down a little bit. I think we might switch our music now. So let's see. So this is the music I've been using for a long time, and I like the soundtrack for Mass Effect 2. That's why I play it as my music over here. If you find the music distracting or loud, please let me know, and I'll try to change out the volume so that it isn't too loud. Okay, so let's get started. So over here, this is the machine we're going to be doing the guided walkthrough for. This is called First, and it's got some stuff to teach us, and I'm just going to start up the virtual machine that's associated with the room right now. So all these machines on VulNyx require us to download a vulnerable virtual machine and deploy it to our network in order to do hacking against it. And we can see that the machine is starting up over here. So it looks like lots of stuff is happening, but eventually it's going to finish initializing. And we see here that the VM name is First and the IP address is 10.0278. So that's the IP address we're going to be hacking against. Okay, so let's get started. This is a guided walkthrough for... Oh, hold on. Maybe before we start, I should set up my environment. So I need to create some tabs. So I'm just going to start up some terminal tabs. I'm going to go into the temp directory because I don't want any files that we download to be cluttering up my file system. We'll make a couple more tabs. Shift Control T. Okay, that should be good. All right, so let's get started. This is a guided walkthrough for the First machine on the vulnyx.com website. And the first thing we like to do when we do a CTF box like this is we like to run an Nmap scan. So Nmap is a program that is going to let us know what ports are open on any given server that we scan against. And we get very verbose output by giving this flag right here, -VV. And that means we're going to be able to see output from the program before the scan finishes. And we're going to see that the scan is going to run very, very fast, but not too fast, with this option right here, -T4, which is going to run 4 threads at the same time. We're going to scan every port available on the system with this option here, -P-, and we're going to scan with common scripts on whatever services we find with -S_C, and versioning information with -S_V. So let's run that command. So we see immediately that a couple of ports show up here. It looks like we've got 3 ports that we're scanning against today. So we've got port 22, port 80, and port 4369. So let's take a look at what these ports have. Okay, so port 22 is running the SSH service, which lets us remotely log into the server. It's running OpenSSH software, version 8.4. We also see that port 80 is available on the server, which is the HTTP service, and that's running an Apache web server, version 2.4.56. And we also see that there is something called the Erlang port mapper daemon, which is running on port 4369. So this is a bit of an unusual find, but first of all, I think what we need to do is we need to do a bit of directory busting on this system. So directory busting is Femyuk1, hello, nice to see you here. And let's just do a fun video redeem because we haven't done one in a while. This one is from South Park.
This Mr. Hat, may I please be excused from class?
Well, Kyle.
Yes.
You hear me? You go to
Hack.
You go to
Hack.
You
Have a great day.
So Femyuk1, if you wanna do the same challenge that we're doing right now, we're currently working on this one over here. I provided the link in the chat. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing some directory busting. So directory busting is trying to find endpoints on a web server, and the first tool we're going to use to do that is we're going to use the Nikto tool. So Nikto is a web app vulnerability scanner, and it's often able to find low-hanging fruit vulnerabilities on misconfigured servers, and this is 78. Okay. So we're going to run that scan, and it's going to give us a bunch of information about the server. So it tells us what kind of software and version it's running. It's going to tell us which HTTP methods are allowed. Okay. And maybe we're going to run another tool in parallel. So we're going to go to another terminal here, and we're going to use the dirb directory busting tool. So dirb is a very, it's not a very powerful directory busting tool, but the syntax for it is very, very easy. So it's just dirb, and then HTTP, and then the IP address that we want to scan against. So dirb, because the syntax for running the command is very, very easy, we can usually just run it and see if we can get some easy hits as to what endpoints are available on the server. So we've got index.html, server status, okay. We're going to go over to the first tab that we opened, over here, and we didn't seem to find anything good using Nikto, but that's fine. It doesn't always find anything good. We're going to move over to a slightly more advanced web fuzzing tool, and that's going to be the GoBuster tool. So the GoBuster tool is a more powerful directory busting tool, and usually we run it with a very large word list. So we've provided this standard word list over here, directory list 2.3 medium.txt. This is a standard directory enumeration list for the Linux for the Kali Linux operating system. We also have to indicate the IP address like we have over here, and we can indicate any extensions for files that we want to fuzz for over here as well. So we've got TXT files, BAK files, zip files, HTML files, PHP files. So if any of these files exist with this word list over here, we're going to be able to find those files and or subdirectories. So let's run the GoBuster command. So it's going to use the word list over here, and it's going to scan for any of these possible endpoints. So first of all, let's go over to okay. So we found this endpoint over here called task list. So this is a subdirectory over here. Let's try and take a look at what exists in there. So we're going to go over to our web browser, and in the web browser, I'm going to navigate to the server's website manually like this, and we're going to indicate that we're going to the task list endpoint inside of the URL bar. So hit enter. Did I make a spelling mistake? Let me check. So /task list. Okay, so we managed to successfully access this this subdirectory here. So under here it says task list, go shopping, make coffee, update Raspberry, go hairdresser, request salary increase, clean my room. Okay, so the only thing that hasn't been done here is update Raspberry. So this is actually referring to the type of device that the server is running on, which is the Raspberry Pi. Let's learn a little bit more about the Raspberry Pi over here. So the Raspberry Pi device. The Raspberry Pi is a popular single-board computer device that can be used for network-attached storage, ad blocking servers, and more. It's a very popular option for teaching computer science classes in schools, and it's a very handy little device. So, one important security consideration of the Raspberry Pi is the fact that there are default credentials for the Raspberry Pi OS. So, the OS that comes pre-installed on the Raspberry Pi device is called Raspberry Pi OS, and the default credentials for the device are username Pi and password Raspberry. So we can take advantage of these default credentials and log into the Raspberry Pi device using SSH. So let's do that. So over in another tab, let's do SSH as the Pi user to the IP address right over here. So hit enter, and then we're going to be prompted for the password. So remember that the password is raspberry. Then hit enter. Okay, and then we receive a message upon login to the server here. It says SSH is enabled and the default password for the Pi user has not been changed. This is a security risk. Please log in as the Pi user and type password to set a new password. Okay, so we've successfully taken advantage of the default credentials and we've broken into the server. So every time we break into a server, what we have to do is we have to put on the scary hacker voice guy to announce that we've broken in.
Hey everybody, it's me, the scary hacker voice guy. Every time we break into a server, scary hacker voice guy comes out and announces that we've done a scary hacker thing. And we laugh maniacally. And we say, we're in.
Okay, so after we've done that, we can go back and go about our business. All right, so the first thing we want to do is Cybernerd Dante says we're in. We are in. So when I was testing this device, it took me a really long time to connect the dots and figure out that we needed to use Raspberry Pi default credentials because I got stuck checking out the other port that was open on the system. But we're not going to make that mistake now. Okay, so over here, we're going to try to enumerate the system. For example, we're going to try to figure out if the Pi user can use sudo commands or not. And it's going to ask for the password for Pi, Raspberry. And it says, sorry, user Pi may not run sudo on Raspberry. Okay, so we can't use sudo commands, that's fine. So if we try to move out of this directory, it says CD restricted, I think, and it says it's coming from rbash. So what rbash is a restricted shell. So restricted shells mean that there are only a limited number of commands that we can run inside of the current user environment, but there are ways we can escape these restricted shells, and these are usually called shell escapes. And one such method is a common method of upgrading a netcat shell, which is using the Python program. So if we can use Python, we can break out of our restricted shell. So we're going to figure out if there's Python available on the system. So there is. And after that, we can just run this command right here to break out of our shell. So the restricted shell, we're going to give this command, import pty for sudo terminal spawn bin bash, and that's going to break us out of our shell. So we're no longer using the rbash shell, we're using the Python created bash shell because we gave this command to import this module. Okay, so that means we can freely move around inside of the environment. So let's take a look at how we need to escalate our privileges inside of this box. So in this box, what we need to do is we need to take a look at the cron jobs that are being run on the system. So a cron job is a task that is run automatically on the server at specified times increments. So to take a look at what's happening as cron jobs in this on the server, we can do this command right here, cat etc cron tab, And we see that there is a scheduled task that is happening at regular intervals over here. So this is happening every minute, every hour, well, it's happening very frequently. So what's happening? The root user is running the ping command with one count to the raspberrypi.com website. So it's trying to ping out to this particular domain, but this is a vector of privilege escalation because the ping command over here is not being run. The ping command was not specified. Femyuk1 has just subscribed. Thank you very much for the subscription, Femyuk1. And welcome to the HackerFrogs. Let's give you a fun redeem. We haven't done Hack the Planet in a while.
Hack the planet! Hack the planet! Shut up again!
Thank you very much for the subscription. Okay, so the reason why this is a vector for privilege escalation is because the ping binary here has not been specified with an absolute file path. This is a relative file path. And another thing that we notice is that inside the path for the cron jobs, we have a non-standard path. And the non-standard path in this case is var www.html. So let's talk a little bit more about this. So this is privilege escalation, cron job path hijacking. Looking at the cron tab file on the system, we see that the path variable for the cron jobs includes a non-standard directory, which is var www.html. So this one right here. We also see that root is running a cron job with the ping binary, but without an absolute file path. So root is running the ping binary, but ping is not stated with an absolute file path. This is a relative file path, which is very, very bad for the server, but very good for us. So these two conditions allow for us to hijack the cron job's path if we're able to write to the non-standard path directory. So in order for us to hijack the cron job, we need to be able to write to this directory right over here, which is var www.html. And we see that we can. So if we move to that directory, cd var www.html, we see that anybody can write to this directory, and so we can potentially hijack the path for the cron job. So if we can write a file called ping on the path, which can contain arbitrary shell commands, and the cron job will use that ping command instead of the legitimate one because the non-standard path appears before the directory containing the legitimate ping command in the path variable. So it looks in its current directory first, and then it goes and looks for the program's the binaries in the path. So because the var www.html path comes before the legitimate path for the ping binary, which is the user bin path, this is why we can do cron job path hijacking. So in order to elevate our privileges using this, we're going to set up a reverse shell listener first. So inside of Kali Linux and another tab here, we're going to do netcat. We're going to do netcat nlvp 443 because this is my favorite port to run netcat on. So after we do that, we've got a reverse shell listener happening on the on our attacker machine, and what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to have the vulnerable server connect to our Kali machine over here, and because the command is running as root, it's gonna give us a root shell. So let's complete the exploitation like this. So what we need to do is we need to create our own ping command, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to echo this reverse shell command over here. So the reverse shell command is going to be redirected into this file called ping, and then we're going to make the our malicious ping command over here executable with chmod plus x, and then the next time the cron job happens, it's going to use our malicious ping instead of the legitimate one, and then give us a reverse shell. So let me grab this command over here, and then we're going to go over to the server here. So we're in the vulnerable path over here, var www.html, and we're going to create the ping command with this echo command here. Okay, so looks like the formatting is a bit weird, so I'm going to fix up the formatting. Hold on. Oh, now it looks all screwed up. Hold on. Okay, let's try that one more time. Actually, I think I'm gonna nano and create the file with nano. So I'm gonna create this ping command. I'm gonna call it, paste in the command over here, but I'm going to modify it, and I'm going to make this a bin bash script. I'm going to run the netcat command. Okay, I'm going to save this out. And then I'm going to use the chmod to make the ping command executable. So after you do that, so the next time the cron job runs, it's going to come across this ping command in the path variable, and then it's going to run the malicious ping command and give us a malicious root reverse shell. So if we take a look at our reverse shell listener, it should happen within about a minute or so. We're going to receive a connection from the target server. So let's check one more time. So the ping command exists in the path over here, var. Let's etc cron tab. Fixit 42 just raided with a party of 10. Welcome raiders, and welcome Fixit 42. My name is the Shy Hat, and I do cybersecurity tutorials and beginner content over here on Twitch. And we're just demonstrating the last part of compromise for this system over here, for this machine on the VulNyx platform called First. If you wanted to take a look at this machine yourself, you can go ahead and do it over here. Oh, looks like we've got some ads going on right now as well. Okay, so for everybody who isn't watching ads, what we like to do during ads is we like to run raid. Yeah, raid. Thank you very much. Fixit 42 bot. Wow, Fixit 42 has a bot. That's great. We like to run some bird feeder cam videos, and I've got a bird feeder in my backyard that I like to use to film some birds. And over here, here's a video from the summer. I like to watch these videos in the winter. It's very cold right now, so I like to remember some warmer times. There's a little bird bath over here, and I set it up so that the birds can have a place to have some water and to have a bath. So here's my favorite little bird right here. Here's the Stellar's jay. Gonna have a little drink, and then it gets in the bird bath. It's just having a great old time. We've got ads going on for another 10 seconds or so. But let's see if we've got some more splish splashing. Yep. So it's a hot day. Well, it was a hot day. And this guy's just going to keep on splashing around. Okay. So let's get back to the hacking. All right, so we just we compromised the web server. Birdbath, yeah, that's right, that's right. So if we go back, we see that the root user is running ping, but without an absolute file path, and we were able to hijack this particular cron job because there's a non-standard directory in the path over here, and we put our own malicious ping binary, well, our ping file in here. And if we take a look at our reverse shell over here, we've received a connection from the vulnerable server. If we ask, who am I? If we ask, who am I? I wonder why this, I wonder why the shell is not working the way it's supposed to. Let me take a look at the contents of the ping binary over here. What a noob! Yeah. Is there something? So my reverse shell, did I forget to put something in here? I think this is all legitimate. Oh no, there is something. There is something wrong. Yeah, so I need to go back into my reverse shell and fix this. Okay, there is one last part to the shell that I forgot to include. So that is, we need to output all of this to temp f. Okay. All right. So let's. So now that we've updated it, let's close out this and let's run the netcat listener again. GX000 says wrong port. Not wrong port. It's just that I cut off a part of the reverse shell command. So that's why I wasn't able to get any input. Okay, so we're just gonna wait on this. So I guess we could put the bird bath back on. Oh nope, we got a connection. Okay, so if we ask who am I now, it says we are root.
What are you?
I'm system root.
Okay, so we've effectively rooted the system over here, and we're very close to finishing this exercise. So the last thing we need to do is we need to move into the root directory, and we need to read this root.txt file. So in order to read the root.txt file, we're just going to cat root.txt, but the organizers over at the VulNyx website have requested that people doing write-ups and videos on their machines not reveal the flag contents. So we're going to redirect the output of this cat command into a file called iReadRoots.txt. And then we're going to do md5 sum to prove that these two files are the same. And we see the two file hashes match, which means we've effectively read the root.txt file and created an identical file called iReadRoot.txt, which means we've solved the challenge. Alright, so thank you very much for watching this guided walkthrough for the first challenge from the VulNyx website. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons on the video. But until next time, we will see you later. Okay, that was just for the YouTube video. We're not actually ending our stream. We're going to get rid of this iReadRoot.txt file, and then we're going to get out of here. GX000 says, "What if I don't like the video? What do I do then?" Then you still hit the like and subscribe button on the video. There was no other option. There's not an if. It wasn't an if condition. It was just a command. Like and subscribe. Actually, wait, did I say if? Maybe I did say if. Anyways, let me get out of here. Okay, so we're going to move on into our Oh, I did say if, didn't I? Well, that's unfortunate. Anyways, let's get out of here. Exit, exit, exit. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on into our next activity for the stream, and the next activity for the stream is going to be the latest TryHackMe Advent of Cyber event, Advent of Cyber exercise, and this one actually deals with WebSockets. And WebSockets are actually a technology I don't know very much about, so I had to learn a little bit on the fly to complete the exercise. And it's a pretty fun exercise, if I do say so myself. So let's start that up. So we're going to go back to tryhackme.com, and we're going to do. Actually, before we start, GX000, how are you doing? Did you are you having fun right now? And are you going to? Oh, you're going to be at the dinner, right? There's going to be a dinner going on Thursday. It's not. It's going to be about a week from now, I think. Yeah. So we're just gonna. So some of the cybersecurity professionals are getting together for a dinner. It's going to be a good time, and yeah, if you know in-person cybersecurity people, it's fun to meet up with them and talk about all sorts of nerdy stuff, if they are available. All right, so let's go over to task number 19. GX00 says, I'm good, signed up for the Advent of Cyber, but I've not done any of the challenges yet. Fixit42 says, have to go to sleep 2 a.m. Good night, everybody. Fixit42, thank you very much for raiding into the stream. And if anybody doesn't know about Fixit42, I'm going to shout out her channel. Fixit42. Okay. So if you haven't followed her yet, she runs a great cybersecurity channel where she does all sorts of fun challenges. Go ahead and follow if you haven't followed yet. And let's send you out with a Hack the Planet.
Hack the planet! Hack the planet! Shut up again!
Hope you have a good night, Fixit42. Get some good rest, and we'll see you next time. All right, so let's begin the challenge. So this is a guided walkthrough for day number 13 from the TryHackMe Advent of Cyber 2024 event. And let's get started. So the story is, this sockmiss was packed with exploits and hacking. Today's threatened app, which allows Ware's car tracking. Mayor malware, no doubt. Well, that's their suspicion. For Glitch and McSkitty, the proof was their mission. GX00 says, day 13 already? I feel like I'm too far behind now, haha. Well, I mean, you could always look up some guides to power through these last couple of weeks. A few of the challenges aren't super technical, but some of them are a bit more involved. There's one that's talking about stuff like shellcodes. This one was actually pretty fun. We were compromising a fully patched Windows machine. This one was pretty good, which was day 8, and let's see. And the Wi-Fi attacks one was also pretty fun. We were compromising a Wi-Fi network. But let's continue. Okay. So wares are all about security. The glitch discovers that an app is illegally tracking cars in Wareville. Not many car thefts in the city warrant such extreme measures. He reaches out to McSkitty to investigate and identify how the application is tracking them and leaking users' positions. So what are we going to be doing in today's challenge? So our learning objectives are: learn about WebSockets and their vulnerabilities. Learn about WebSocket message manipulation and how it can be done. So we're going to connect to the machine. So for today, do we need to start the attack box today? Yes. Do we need to start a VM today? Yes. So what we want to do is we want to start up 2 virtual machines. The first one is this one over here, which is associated with the green Start Machine button here. Click on it, and that's going to start up the virtual machine. We also need to use the attack box today. So what we need to do is navigate to the top of the TryHackMe page here, and then click on this button here, which is labeled Start Attack Box. So after we start up the attack box, we're going to see that the browser pane, the browser window over here, splits into two panes, a right-hand side and a left-hand side. So the right-hand side has our TryHackMe page, and the left-hand side has the attack box. So the attack box is going to take a couple of minutes to initialize, so let's familiarize ourselves with the technology that we're going to be using in today's task while this loads. So Introduction to WebSocket. WebSockets let your browser and the server keep a constant line of communication open. Unlike the old school method of asking for something, getting a response, and then hanging up, WebSockets are like keeping the phone line open so you can chat whenever you need to. Once that connection is set up, the client and server can talk back and forth without all the extra requests. WebSockets are great for live chat apps, real-time games, or any live data feed where you want constant updates. After a quick handshake to get things started, both sides can send messages whenever. This means less overhead and faster communication when you need data flowing in real time. Traditional HTTP requests versus WebSocket. When you use regular HTTP, your browser sends a request to the server and the server responds, then closes the connection. If you need new data, you have to make another request. Think of it like knocking on someone's door every time you want something. They'll answer, but it can get quite tiring if you need updates constantly. Take a chat app as an example. With HTTP, your browser would keep asking any new messages every few seconds. This method, known as polling, works but isn't efficient. Both the browser and the server end up doing a lot of unnecessary work just to stay updated. WebSockets handle things differently. Once the connection is established, it remains open, allowing the server to push updates to you whenever there's something new. It's more like leaving the door open so updates can come in immediately without the constant back and forth. This approach is faster and uses fewer resources. WebSocket vulnerabilities. While WebSockets can boost performance, they also come with security risks that developers need to monitor. Since WebSocket connections stay open and active, they can be taken advantage of if the proper security measures aren't in place. Here are some common vulnerabilities. Weak authentication and authorization. Unlike regular HTTP, WebSockets don't have built-in ways to handle user authentication or session validation. If you don't set these controls up properly, attackers could slip in and get access to sensitive data or mess with the connection. Message tampering. WebSockets let data flow back and forth constantly, which means attackers could intercept and change messages if encryption isn't used. This could allow them to inject harmful commands, perform actions they shouldn't, or mess with the sent data. Cross-site WebSocket hijacking. This happens when an attacker tricks a user's browser into opening a WebSocket connection to another site. If successful, the attacker might be able to hijack that connection or access data meant for the legitimate server. Denial of service. Because WebSocket connections stay open, they can be targeted by DOS actions or DOS attacks. If an attacker could flood the server with a ton of messages, potentially slowing it down or crashing it altogether. What is WebSocket message manipulation? WebSocket message manipulation is when an attacker intercepts and changes the messages sent between a web server, a web app, and its server. Unlike regular HTTP requests that go back and forth one at a time, WebSockets keep a connection open, allowing constant two-way communication. This is what makes WebSockets great for real-time apps, but it also opens the door for attacks if proper security isn't in place. In this type of attack, a hacker could intercept and tweak these WebSocket messages as they're being sent. Let's say that the app is sending sensitive info like transaction details or user commands. An attacker could change those messages to make the app behave differently. They could bypass security checks, send unauthorized requests, or alter key data like usernames, payment amounts, or access levels. For example, imagine a web app using WebSockets to handle money transfers between accounts. If an attacker gets a hold of the message before it hits the server, they could change the amount being transferred or even send the money to a different account. Since WebSocket connections happen in real time, these changes would take effect instantly without the user or server noticing immediately. This kind of manipulation can also lead to more significant problems. Hackers can inject harmful code or try to get higher level access. For instance, they might change a message to give themselves admin rights or insert malicious commands to take control of the server. What makes this attack so dangerous is that WebSocket connections often don't have the same protections as traditional HTTP connections, like end-to-end encryption, which encrypts the request body of an HTTP request using JavaScript using an AES key or RSA public key stored in the JavaScript file. If developers don't add vigorous checks like message validation or encryption, it's easy for attackers to exploit these gaps. By tampering with the data being sent, attackers can cause all sorts of damage, from unauthorized actions to full system compromises. The impact of changing WebSocket messages depends on how the app uses them and what kind of data is being sent. Here's a breakdown of what can happen. Doing things without permission. If someone can tamper with WebSocket messages, they could impersonate another user and carry out unauthorized actions such as making purchases, transferring funds, or changing account settings. For example, if a WebSocket manages payment transactions, an attacker could manipulate the transaction amount or reroute payment to their own account. Gaining extra privileges. Attackers could manipulate messages to make the system think that they have more privileges than they actually do. This could let them access admin controls, change user data, view sensitive info, or mess with system settings. Messing up data. One of the significant risks is data corruption. If someone is changing the messages, they could feed bad data into the system. This could mess with user accounts, transactions, or anything else the app handles. This could change things in real time and disrupt everybody's work in circumstances such as a shared document or a tool. Crashing the system. An attacker could spam the server with bad requests, causing it to slow down and crash. If this happens enough, the system could go offline, causing serious downtime for users and businesses. Without good security checks, this kind of message tampering can lead to anything from unauthorized actions to downing of an entire service. Okay, so let's do our exploitation. We need to navigate to this IP address right here. So we're going to copy the address, and then we're going to open up the web browser in our attack box. So go ahead and click on the Firefox icon over here. So the Firefox browser in the attack box is going to take a couple of seconds to start up. Afterwards, we can click into the address bar and then change the IP address so that it matches the one in the description over here, 1010. So this is going to be different for everybody. Just use the number that is there for you. Okay. So this is the Wareville car tracker. So let me see if I can make this a little bit smaller, because the interface is a bit cramped. Okay, so we've got the cars over here, and we've got some messages going back and forth, and we can also send messages. So maybe I'm going to send a test message and send it. Okay, so we're glitch. So we sent this message over here that says test. Great. Okay, so now that we see what the app is doing, what we can do is we can look at this inside of Burp Suite. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to copy the IP address over here, And then afterwards, we're going to close out our web browser, and then we're going to start up Burp Suite. So we're going to need to start up Burp Suite to complete the exercise today. So go ahead and click on this icon over here in the attack box. Burp Suite is going to take a few seconds to start up. Okay, afterwards we're going to click on Next over here, and then we're going to click on Start Burp. After we've done that, we need to adjust a couple of settings inside of Burp Suite in order to get our Burp Suite browser to run properly. So we're just going to dismiss this message here. And then we're going to click on Settings over here. So go ahead and click on that, the Settings button, and then go over to this portion over here, which is labeled Burp's Browser. After you do that, scroll down to this section over here labeled Browser Running, and click on this button here that says Allow Burp's Browser to run without a sandbox. Go ahead and click on that. After you've done that, close out the settings window here, and then we're going to open up the Burp Suite browser. So we're going to click on Proxy, and then we're going to click on Intercept Off. So this is the Intercept On button right here. We need to click on it so that it says Intercept Off. After we've done that, we're going to click on the Open Browser button over here. So this is going to open up the Burp Suite browser, which is connected to Burp Suite and is going to proxy all the traffic from the server to our Burp Suite browser. Okay, so after we've done that, inside the Burp Suite browser in the address bar here, we're going to paste in the IP address from the previous task. We can also find it under exploitation over here. After that, hit enter, and this is gonna load up the car tracker app over here. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. Okay. So after we've done that, we're going to scroll down, and we're going to see what the task wants us to do. So what we're going to be doing is manipulating the messaging. Following the successful identification of the WebSocket message manipulation vulnerability, Glitch continued testing for other ways to exploit the application. This time, he wanted to see if the messages could be posted on the app could be altered and manipulated. Is it possible to post using a different user ID? Okay, I missed something. So the first part is this over here. Okay, so go back to your browser. So we're going to go back to your browser and click on the track button. So over here, this is the browser. We're going to click on the track button. And Burp Proxy will intercept the WebSocket traffic as shown below. Okay, so we're going to click on the untrack button. Sorry about that. What we need to do is we need to set up a setting in Burp Suite. So we're going to minimize the browser, and then go over to Burp Suite. In Burp Suite, we're going to go over to our WebSocket. We're going to go over to the intercept button, and then we're going to turn it on. So intercept off, we're going to turn it on. And then we're going to minimize Burp Suite, and we're going to go to the Burp Suite browser here, which is the blue chromium icon. And we're going to click on Track. For your vehicles, there's the track button here. It's blue. Click on it, and then we're going to minimize the Burp browser window. Go back to Burp Suite, and we're going to look for the intercept. So the intercept we're looking for is the tracking packet over here. So we just keep on clicking through these requests over here until we see this one over here, which is labeled track. So change the value of the user ID parameter from 5 to 8, and then click on the forward button. So inside of this this packet here, we're going to change the user ID from the number 5 to the number 8. And then after that, we're going to click on the forward button here. Okay, and so we sent that. Go back to your browser and check the community reports. So over here, we're going to, in the attack box, we're going to minimize burp. Then we're going to go over to the Burp Suite browser. Okay, so it looks like it hasn't gone through. If you don't see the traffic, try to click on the untrack button, refresh the page, and hit the track button. Okay, again. Okay. So we're going to hit the untrack button and then refresh the page. Okay. So the problem here is we're currently intercepting. So in Burp Suite we're intercepting, so the web page isn't going to update. So what we need to do is we need to minimize our Burp Suite browser and then go over to Burp Suite. In Burp Suite, we need to turn intercept off. After that, we minimize the Burp Suite, and then we go over to the Burp Suite browser, and then we click on track, and then untrack. Okay, so it looks like the timing is going to be a little bit tight. Okay, so reload the page, then minimize the window, go to Burp Suite. In Burp Suite, turn intercept on, and then minimize Burp Suite. Go to the browser, click on track, and then minimize the browser. Go to Burp Suite. In Burp Suite, manipulate the track packet here so that it says user ID 8. Click on forward, and then turn intercept off, and then minimize Burp Suite. Go to the Burp Suite browser, and we see the message here. Their malware says, I think someone is tracking my car. THM dude, where's my car? Okay. We're going to copy that flag. I think we can copy it. Copy the flag, and then go over to the control panel. In the control panel, copy the flag, close the control panel, go down to the end of the task. What is the value of flag 1? Answer this by pasting in the value of that flag. Click on submit. And then we need to do this last part. Manipulating the messaging. Following the successful identification of the WebSocket message manipulation vulnerability, Glitch continued testing for other ways to exploit the application. This time he wanted to see if the messages posted on the app could be altered and manipulated. Is it possible to post using a different user ID? Okay, so in order to do this, what we need to do is we need to send a message, and we need to send it in the context of another user. In this case, it's going to be the Mayor malware user. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to reset the app over here, reload the page, and then we're going to minimize the browser, go to Burp Suite. In Burp Suite, turn intercept on, and then minimize Burp Suite. Go back to the browser. In the browser, I'm going to send a fake message. I'm really dumb. And click on send. So this is going to be intercepted by Burp Suite. We're going to minimize the browser, go back to Burp Suite. In Burp Suite, there is a message over here to server. It says, I'm really dumb, sender 5. we're gonna change the sender from 5 to 8, and then we're going to forward it. After we do that, we're going to turn intercept off, and then we're going to go back to the web application in the Burp browser. Okay, so did that get picked up? Okay, I'm going to send a test message. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to repeat that one more time. So we're going to reset the page, then minimize the browser, go to Burp Suite, turn intercept on, minimize Burp Suite, go to the browser, type I'm dumb, and send it. Then minimize the browser, go to Burp Suite. In Burp Suite, we're going to manipulate this so that the sender is 8 instead of 5, and then we're going to forward it. And then we're going to turn intercept off, then go over to here. Okay. So Mayor Malware says, I'm dumb, and then Mayor Malware says, I didn't send that last message, what's happening? And then we get the flag. Okay, great. So we're just going to copy the flag, and then in the control panel, copy it. And what is the value of flag 2? Paste in the value of the flag, click on submit. And then we're finished. Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of cleanup because we're polite folks. We're going to terminate the machine and confirm that. Then at the top of the page here, we're going to close out the machine information. And to complete the task, all we need to do is click on this last thing over here, which is... Oh, it looks like my page is a bit laggy. Hold on. We just need to click on this question over here, which is, if you enjoyed this task, feel free to check out the Burp Suite module. Click on complete. And then we're finished with the room. Okay. All right, so that was a guided walkthrough for day 13 of TryHackMe's Advent of Cyber event. I hope everybody had fun, and if you liked the video, click on like and subscribe on the video. Thank you very much. But until next time, we will see you then. All right, so that was the guided walkthrough. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching me do that. And yeah, it doesn't always, when you're dealing with this stuff live, it doesn't always go the way you want it to go. GX000 says, there's that if again. Well, I don't want to come across as too pushy when I ask people to subscribe to the channel. I don't want to say something like, hey you guys, you must click on the like and subscribe button and give me $50 each time you watch the video, because that comes across as a bit obnoxious. Okay, so we're finished. We're finished with Advent of Cyber 2024. Hey, GX000, you like, how, are you still trying to hack Windows machines? Because I think we have an easy Windows machine that we're going to be hacking today. And this is the address. This is the URL of the machine we're doing. Okay, so we've got ads in process. GX00 says, always interested in learning more. So for this break, what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how smart the Stellar Jays are. So over here, you see that we've got this we've got a couple of little plastic inserts over here, and I've sandwiched a peanut in between the two inserts here. Thank you very much for the redeem, GX000. So that there's one, you have to remove the first insert to get to the peanut underneath over here. So these Stellar Jays are smart enough to identify this, and they can actually remove the lid. GXPone says, dude, how do you keep rodents away from your bird food? I don't put out too much bird food all at once, and so the birds are usually finished with the bird food before nighttime. GX00 says he's trying to attract the rodents. Well, there are a lot of squirrels. There are a lot of squirrels that hang out, and they try to eat all the bird seed and the peanuts. You can see the Stellar Jays. Well, the Stellar Jay's not a rodent. So let me demonstrate. So the Stellar Jay knows how to remove the lid over here to get at the peanut. So he just lifts off the lid and he gets the peanut. So let's see that one more time. So you don't need to do all the THM adverts only when you want. Hi, Shy Hat. Hello, Ronan. Nice to see you. You don't need to do all the THM advents only. Oh, the advents, not the adverts. Okay. Only the ones you want. Well, if you want to, you have to do them all if you want to maximize your chance of winning prizes. But if you're only interested in learning, you don't need to do subjects that you don't like. So, okay. So he lifts off the lid and he gets the peanut. So, one more time. So there's this Stellar Jay here. He's just gobbling up the peanuts. He goes away. The other Stellar Jay comes in, lifts off the lid, grabs the peanut, and then goes away. Okay. All right, so let's continue. All right, so this is the quoted machine, and this is a little bit more relaxed. We're just trying to work our way through the machine, and let me start up the machine first of all. So this is the quoted machine. We see that it is starting up over here. This is in, it's in Turkish again. I think this is the same user who did the other machine, and I think this is a Turkish Windows install. Anyways, we'll just let the machine go. So, alright, so the machine is up, so we can start hacking against it. Alright, so for Windows targets, it's not guaranteed that we're going to be able to send ICMP packets at it. So I like to use this tool over here to identify Windows machines on my network. It's called ARPScan, and it's just going to scan through the network range and identify any machines on the network through through ARP packets. So I just need to give a little bit of water. Password expired incoming, so maybe. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna take a little sip of water, just a second. Okay, so we've identified. I think this is the IP address that we're hacking against today. So it's let's see, number 110. Great. All right, so we're going to run a little Nmap scan, and Nmap, of course, we're looking for all the open ports on the system. So I don't think we're going to see if this machine responds to ping packets. So it does respond to ping packets, and we see that there's port 21 available on the system, which is kind of unexpected, but port 21 can lead to some fun interactions. So 21, of course, is the FTP port, file transfer protocol, so we can look for open file shares. There's also port 445. GX000 says you got to download and run these VMs. Yeah. So there are advantages and disadvantages to having to put the machine on your own network. But the good thing is that you can walk away from the box, and you don't have to worry about sharing it with anybody else. And you don't need to. You can reset the box whenever you want. So those are the pros of putting the machine on your own network. So we've got our standard Windows ports open here. So there's 445, 135, 139, and ports on the 40,000 range over here. We're gonna I think what we should do is we should check out FTP while the scan finishes. So we're just going to go over to another tab, and we're going to do FTP, and this is 110. We're going to try anonymous login, and send identity email name as password. So can we do a blank password? Okay, we're logged in. Remote system type is Windows NT. So we do know because of meta gaming that this is a Windows 7 target. So let's take a look at what's in here. So there's a directory called ASP.NET Client, and then there is an iisstart.htm and a welcome.png. So this screams out to me that we might have access to the web directory, because we did see port 80 available on the target. So in this case, we could potentially upload a web shell to the target. And let's just take a look inside this directory here, ASP.NET Client. So system web. There's another directory inside of here. There's nothing in here. So the next thing we need to do is we need to confirm that we can access all of this stuff from the web, from the web app. So the first directory is ASP_client. Let's go over to here. So it's going to be GX000 says that welcome PNG is sus. Is it sus? I need to grab the IP address. It is where? Here? Okay, this IP address. We're going to go to this IP address and then the web root. So this is probably the web root, and there was a directory in here called, what was it called? ASP_client. ASP.NET Client. Okay. Let's see if we can access this directory. Okay, so it says this is code 403, which is forbidden, which means we can't actually access the stuff inside this directory. So this so let's try uploading something to the web server. So if we can upload something to the web server, then we could potentially upload a reverse shell to the web app and get access that way. GX000 says it may just mean there's no directory listing allowed. Yeah, there's no directory listing allowed. We're not able to see inside of the directory. Yeah, but let's make a little test file. So test.txt, and we're just going to echo in file upload possible. Okay, and then let's try uploading this file. So we're going to put test.txt. Wait, what directory am I in? I'm not connected. When did I? Man, okay. Let's try to connect again. Okay. So this is the web root here, and we're going to try putting test.txt. Okay, and then so test.txt is here. Let's try to access it from the web app. Okay, so file upload is possible. So that means because we're dealing with IIS, we probably want to upload a web shell that is an ASP or ASPX. Let's see if I can find one. So I'm gonna locate. So there's a bunch of web shells on Kali Linux already, and they actually have some for different programming languages. They have some for ASP as well. So cmd asp.asp, okay, and they also have one for ASPX. So let's try copying them over to our current directory. And I'm just gonna copy. I'll copy the other one just for good measure. The other one was the ASPX one, right? ASPX cmd asp.aspx. Okay, I think we need to adjust some things inside of these web shells before we can deploy them. So I'm just going to get my IP address. So the IP address that my attacker machine has is this one right here. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to modify the contents. Okay, so this is... It looks like... this is just a web shell. So it's a web shell that lets us run commands. And... this probably lets us run commands through some sort of URL parameter, but I don't see where the parameter is created. Anyways, I'm going to... let me get out of here. I'm just going to make sure, I'm just going to verify with ChatGPT that that I'm running the commands through the URL parameter. Okay, so let's go over to ChatGPT. Let's reload this. How does this web shell work? Paste in the code. This web shell is a simple and dangerous piece of malicious ASP code designed to execute system commands on the Windows server and return their output to the attacker through the web interface. Okay. Okay, so it's just telling me how to protect against this. So how are commands inputted and in this web shell? Okay, so the input tag, great. Oh, okay. So there's a window. So there's a window, we just type into it. Great. Okay. All right. So that's easy enough. So let's upload the thing. So it's cmd.asp.asp. Okay. Let's go over to FTP. Ah, okay. I got my connection closed. So exit. Let's try that one more time. Anonymous. And then password none. Let's put... what was the name of that file? cmd.asp.asp. Okay, so we put the file into the web app. Let's try to access it. If this doesn't work, we'll try the other one which is using ASPX instead of ASP. So over at the web app, here. Okay, great. So we've got the remote command execution. So who am I? NT Authority Network Service. NT Authority Network Service, that seems like a kind of... That seems like a kind of high privilege user for the web app. Anyways, what can we do now? So from here, what we could try to get reverse shell on the system is we could try to upload a binary and run the binary. So what binary? Or we could try to run a PowerShell command. So GX000, are you still here? If you're here, you could suggest to me a way of getting a reverse shell in the box. So we could try netcat, and if we're able to upload a netcat, so let's see what directory we're in. Let's see, EIR. Only half paying attention, no idea what you currently are at. We're just trying to figure out. We're just trying to figure out how to get a reverse shell on the system. If you're trying to get a reverse shell on the system, what would you do? BusyBox is the fewest characters. Pebble always uses it. BusyBox. BusyBox, does that work for Windows? Right. So that's not Pebble. Welcome. Cyber Dante also welcome. I'm glad I have my my hacker crew here. So PowerShell based 64 encode from revshells.com. Okay, yeah, we could try that. Revshells.com. Let's see, we're looking for OS Windows. We're looking for PowerShell base 64. Okay, so we need to specify an IP and a port. So in this case, I'd like to go for good old 443. Root privileges required. Anyways, I need to get my IP address. My IP address is number 3, I think. Okay, and let me start up my netcat listener. So netcat listener is netcat. Actually, yeah, netcat listener on 443. And then we're going to copy the code. So the code is over here. So this might not work because Windows might detect that I'm trying to do something malicious with the PowerShell, and but let's try it. Let's try it and see if it works. So on the web app, we've got our web shell. So GX000 says Windows 7 isn't that smart. Well, I mean, it's possible. It's possible that Windows 7. Okay, so we've got our command. We run it, and okay, so the web page is hanging, which means we probably got a connection. So if we go back, it says connect to, yeah. So we've got a connection here. Let's see if it's if it actually connects. NT Authority Network Service. So we're in. So we need to put on our scary hacker voice. Hold on.
Hey guys, it's Scary Hacker Voice Guy. Scary Hacker Voice Guy comes out when we break into servers and we have to laugh maniacally. And then say, we're in.
Alright, so that was Scary Hacker Voice Guy. Now we can continue. Alright, so So we are network authority network service. So we need to figure out what kind of privileges we have, right? Okay. SE impersonate privilege. I can't tell which one of these are on and which one of these are off. Does this mean you have all the privs? I have all the privs? So this is Turkish. I need to look up the meaning of these words. Hold on, I'm just gonna pull up Google Translate. And I need to look up Turkish. Turkish, where are you? Turkish. So the word is etkin. Effective. Okay, and Devra D. Devra? Circuit? I have no idea. Devra means off and etkin means on. Maybe? Alright, so I think I know what the privilege escalation vector is on this box, because the box is called... The box is called Quoted. So this probably refers to unquoted... What is it? Unquoted service? Unquoted service paths? What was the name of that privilege escalation? Maybe I can just ask ChatGPT. So there's a Windows privilege escalation method which is called unquoted something something. Please help me identify it. Unquoted service path privilege escalation, okay. So an unquoted service path vulnerability occurs when a Windows service executable path is not enclosed in double quotes, and there are spaces in the path. This can allow an attacker to exploit how Windows resolves paths during service startup. So consider a service with the following execution path. Okay. Privilege escalation impacts. Services typically run with system privileges. So an attacker with write access to directories in the service path can plant a malicious executable at one of the intermediate locations. So when a service starts or restarts, a malicious executable is executed with elevated privileges. How to detect unquoted service paths? Manually check services. This sounds like a big pain in the butt. So look at the binary path name. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run WinPs. So first of all, I need to figure out if this is a 64-bit system or a 32-bit system. It's probably a 64-bit system, but this is Windows 7. So I'm going to do system info. I can't read any of this. So this is a 64-bit. So I can't. Oh, there's probably a bunch of characters that I can't read because I'm running an English character set. Okay, so let's. So this is 64-bit. Great. I'm gonna try uploading WinPs, and I'm going to upload WinPs as the system and do some enumeration. So let's do. And thank you very much to Pebble for suggesting the RevShell's PowerShell base64 encode. Let's go to WinPs. Yeah, and let's download that binary. Okay, so we've got our releases over here. And we've got... Wait. Where is... This is LinPs. Ronan has a command. Okay, let me try using this command and see if I can identify unquoted services. For some reason that didn't run the way I thought it would. Okay. Let's continue figuring out where to download WinPs from. So assets, more assets. WinPs any. Yeah, this is the one I usually use. So I'm just gonna grab this one. And then I'm gonna download it. Okay, so we've got WinPs any. And how do I guess we can just upload it. We can upload it via FTP. So we've got FTP. Let me copy the name of the file. And then we're going to log into FTP again. And then we're going to put the file there. Okay, so we need to go and look for the file. So the file is going to be in the web root. Let's go look for the web root. The web root is in inetpub, and then in www.root. Okay, so we've got the WinPs any.exe file here. Let's try running it. Did it not? It didn't run. It didn't run. Why didn't it run? Let's try... Yeah, why doesn't it run? Weird. If this was detected by antivirus, it would just delete the file. But because the file's still here, do I not have execute permissions? Not sure what's going on. I wonder if I could run it from the web shell. Ronan says file.exe. Yeah, I can try that. I don't think... Well, I mean, I used the full file path and it didn't work in that case, but... Yeah, it just doesn't go. I'm going to try running it from the web shell and see if it works. Okay, go back to the web shell. And run it. So it doesn't run here either. Maybe I should try moving it into... Man, I don't know. Ronan says, I think Twitch blocked you. Were you trying to... No, I can see your messages, Ronan. But I saw your messages on both, I saw your messages on both Twitch and YouTube. But I'm not too sure why the command that you sent me didn't work. Maybe... I need to find out which service is unquoted. I really don't feel like manually going through all the services and combing through them one by one. I would really like to get WinPs running. Maybe we can get maybe this is the wrong version. Maybe I need to get another version of WinPs. So let's see, WinPs 64. Ronan says, after the command I tried to comment and it didn't work. You're just not getting output. I think it's running. Okay, so if I'm not getting output, let's test that theory. So over here, we've got WinPs. So I don't know if I can create files in this directory or not. Let's check. Let's test it out. So echo file test, redirect it into example.txt. Okay, so we can write files to this directory. So let's try running winps any.exe and redirect the output into a file called psreport.txt. Okay, psoup, right? Of course. Let me take a look. So the file wasn't created. So maybe the file is not running. So that means, what are some other ways we could get WinPs running? There's also a WinPs // Oh, hey, yeah, maybe it's running. Maybe it is running. So it created the file, but I guess it's I gotta wait for the output to go through. GX00 says, I love IoT. So, all right. All right, so do we have to wait? Do we need to wait for this thing to populate? Yeah, there's nothing in here. Okay. Maybe it's because there wasn't any output, right? Let's try uploading the other version of WinPs. So we've got WinPs 64. Let's try uploading it. Actually, do we need to switch into binary mode? Maybe because we didn't switch into binary mode before uploading the file. It could be that the file's kind of broken because we didn't upload it in binary mode. Anyways, let's try uploading this. Put Pebble would say, I would honestly check if you can read the flag. These type of boxes can be dumb. Yeah, they can be dumb. They can be really dumb. Sure, let's try it out. So let's go into cdc/user/administrator. What? Is there nothing in here? There's nothing in this directory. The quoted user is also interesting. So quoted does have a quoted has the user.txt. So I don't know, do we loot that? Do we loot it? I guess we can loot it. And then we can go over to the TryHackMe page and we can submit those. Let's see, submit flag over here. We need to go back to the machine. Quoted. You're not getting error messages. Try error to read them. Oh! I've never encountered that before. Hold on. Let me submit my flag first. Yep, submitted. Okay, great. What was it? $sign error? Program WinPeas failed to execute. Oh, okay. So I'm not getting error messages. Okay. I'm also permission denied inside the administrator. So for some reason this shell doesn't display error messages. I wonder if RL wrap could fix it. Well, we know what the issue is now. Thank you very much for pointing that out, Pebble. I've never actually encountered this before. So this is a learning experience. So we got the so let's go back to the this directory here in the www.root directory, and let's try the WinPeas x64 file. So it is so it could be because I didn't download it with FTP using the binary option that it wasn't able to transfer over successfully and it was corrupted. Huh. So WinPeas x64 wasn't able to run either. There's something wrong with my terminal. I think I want to get myself a nicer terminal. Let's try. Yeah, this didn't seem to work. Okay. Let's get ourselves a nicer shell. But how do we do that? I could also try using the WinP's batch file, and the WinP's batch file is usually a lot easier to run, but it's not as nice to look at. Okay. So over here, winps.bat. Get that link. Then let's download it. Okay, DOS batch file, great. Let's upload it. Okay, so we uploaded the file again. We should see it in here now. winps.bat. Let's try running the file. Is it actually running? Oh man. Okay, so if this doesn't work, what should we do next? What was the command? Output the file. Yeah. Let's see if I'm actually stuck or if I can do something. So yeah, the terminal's not responsive right now. Okay. I need to get that that PowerShell reverse shell command again. Rev shells. I should have saved it from last time. Okay, so Windows, PowerShell base64, 443, this one right here. Okay, copy all that stuff. So the terminal became unresponsive, so I'm just going to get out of there. I'm going to reestablish the shell. Okay, so this should reestablish my reverse shell connection. Oh, it didn't. It didn't reestablish the shell. Let me take a look. Need to make sure that the reverse shell command... This should be the correct IPN port. I wonder why this is stuck. Let's try running this again. It looks like my reverse shell isn't. It looks like my web shell isn't responding anymore. Wait, did the? Okay, so the machine didn't. It didn't shut down, which is nice. Okay. Do I need to upload another reverse shell because this one isn't working? Let's try accessing this in another Pebble says, "I fear running WinPs through the web shell broke it." Maybe, yeah. Because I don't seem to be able to access the web shell over here. Maybe what I need to do is I need to upload another web shell. So I'm just going to... I'm going to rename this and re-upload it. So inside of FTP, what did I name it? Webshell.asp. Okay, so let's try this new one. Oh. I think the I think the whole web server might have come down. Huh. Let's try just navigating to the Okay, so this page works. But for some reason it doesn't want to load up these ASP pages. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reset the box because I think the yeah, this thing's kind of borked. So let me reset the machine. And then we can try again. Okay, let's power up the machine again. Okay, let's start it up. Let's try that again. It was... what was the IP address? I think the IP address was number 10. Yeah. Okay, so we so the web shell is back up. So let's get our reverse shell connection. Okay, we got it, we got it. Okay. Back in it. Let's get into the Mainnet pub www.root. Okay, so winpiece.bat. Maybe we can try redirecting this into a file. So we're just going to run winpiece.bat. Redirect this into psoup.txt and see if this works. Yeah, this breaks my connection. It really didn't like running that batch file. Nope. Okay. So I think running this PowerShell command right here, this breaks the reverse shell. No, it breaks the web shell. Because we can't access the other web shell either. Which means we've borked the machine again. Okay, well, good thing we can restart this machine as many times as we want. Okay, so maybe we've got access to the machine as long as maybe we should try another reverse shell method, because this PowerShell method breaks up the Okay, we're back in the system again. What is this directory here? What is this one? So System32 iNet service. Okay. Let's okay. Maybe let's just try doing some manual service enumeration over here. Let's see. Try RL wrap or even interpreter shell to get stable. How do you... I forget how to upgrade regular shells to interpreter shells. Oh, no. I think I remember. So we set up a interpreter. Yeah. I think I remember. Okay, let's try that. I'm just gonna get out of here, and then let's try MSF console. And let me shut down. I don't think we can't use the web shell anymore, because the moment I send that that PowerShell command, it doesn't work anymore. Yeah. So let's reset the server one more time. Okay, so use multi-handler. And the payload is going to be shell reverse TCP. Show payloads. So I want to get, what is the name of the interpreter? Interpreter Windows shell? Payload Windows. Which one do I want? Reverse Reverse TCP, right? Okay, great. Thank you very much, Pebble. So use. Is it use payload? Use payload. Windows x64 interpreter. Oh, set payload, right? TCP. Okay. Then I need to set my L port and L host. Let me get my IP address. Okay. And then run. Okay, now we can send the PowerShell payload. Oh, I need to power up the system again. It needs to be an interpreter payload. Regular TCP reverse shell won't work. Oh, you can set one. You can generate one with MSF Venom. Okay, so let's see. I haven't. This really tells you how often I use interpreter or like interpreter shells. So MSF Venom. Was it PowerShell? Let me look this up. So let's see. Windows non-staged reverse shell. Okay. I need a PowerShell command. Interpreter. Windows staged interpreter reverse shell. PHP. Okay, so we want the format to be PowerShell, right? Okay, so we've got our L host and L port. I don't think we need encoding in this case. Format is going to be PowerShell. L host is going to be this. Okay, so this this isn't what I expected. Let's go. Maybe I can get the answer from RevShell. Let's see, reverse shell MSF Venom. Windows bind. Windows staged. exe would work if we can get the exe to to run. You can try simpler reverse shells without base 64. Okay, so let's see. Stageless reverse interpreter staged stageless reverse. And we need to change this out. Okay, so this is fine. Yeah, upload the exe by HTTP, run it with web shell. Yeah, okay, let's try that. All right, let's run msfnm. Then we can reverse.exe. That's stageless. Yeah, I set the listener to staged, really? Where does it say stage? Oh, reverse. Oh yeah. Man, you know this stuff. I used to know this. Okay, so let's see. So the other one would be, I guess we need to set the staged one then. So, okay, let's see. Staged reverse is this one. I actually prefer stageless, but we've got this one running already, so we might as well try. Yeah, Pebble knows his stuff. Okay, so let's we've got the reverse.exe. Let's FTP in there. Okay. Put reverse.exe. Oh no. I need to set it to binary mode first. Okay. So now reverse.exe is here. Let's try. Oh, you know what? We probably have to do explicit. We have to run this explicitly because this is not in the directory. So what is the file path for this? So this is Blood Knight 1. Thank you very much for following. You are now a HackerFrog. We haven't done a redeem in a while. Let's redeem something. This is from Drink All the Booze and Hack All the Things. Okay, so what's the file path? It's C inetpub, right? Inetpub www root, and then the file is called reverse.exe. Okay, let's try running it through the web shell. Okay, all right. Now let's take a look at. So it's running. Let's take a look at our Number Interpreter session 1 open. Great, awesome. So let's see if we can. Let's drop into our shell and then see if we can run the WinP scripts. C inet pub Okay. WinPeas. Huh. Okay, so we've got our... What does this mean? Well, let's ask ChatGPT. What is this error message? Application is encountering a type initialization exception during runtime. The machine is too old. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Possible causes. Runtime version mismatch. Incorrect dependencies. Incorrect improper use. Steps to resolve. Verified .NET framework runtime version. Oh, okay. So it's because maybe it's because our binary is too modern. So maybe I should use an older version. I should use an older version of WinPeas. I'm trying to... No, I shouldn't ask ChatGPT. I should instead go over to the WinPeas GitHub repository. Okay, WinPeas PS1 project. Maybe we should use the PS1 script. It's probably got a better chance of running. So WinPeas.ps1. Okay, let's try this out. Let's just copy the raw file and create it on our system. Okay, and then let's host it. Pebble says, I believe ChatGPT gave you a one-liner to find all the unquoted service paths earlier. I think it gave me the means to do it manually, but I could double check. Let me double check. Is there a single command that can be used to determine if any of the services on a Windows machine are using unquoted service paths? WMIC? Oh, you know what? This is what was it Ronan who sent me this one? Somebody sent me this command. I can't remember who it was. Hold on. I have to remember who it was. You can try it now with the stabilized shell. Okay, let's try this. It was Ronan. Okay, thank you for that. Okay. Let's run the command. Okay. Oh, okay. So we actually got some stuff back, but I can't tell. can't tell which one is the... Well, let's see if ChatGPT can identify it. Oh, what was that? Northern Flicker, hey! Thank you very much for redeeming the woodpecker. Okay, okay. Which service is unquoted according to this output? Okay, the unquoted service path in the provided output is PE service. GX000, you just you found all of the redeems. Thank you. Okay, so the PE service. So c.net update.net exe. So why is this vulnerable? Because there's no quotes around this. So it would look for c.net.exe first, and then would try c.net update.net.exe. So let's try and...
Is this a hacking?
You know, I forgot I had most of these. Is this a hacking? Right. So with the meme image. Let's figure out if we can write to C first. So first of all, let's go over to the C directory. So inside the C directory, let's see if we can create files. Echo test.txt. Okay, so we can write to the root directory here. So that means we can create our malicious file here. Exploitation: an attacker can place a malicious executable called .net.exe in C or any intermediate directory to execute their code privileges of the vulnerable service. So .net.exe. So okay, we can use MSFvenom to create a malicious payload, right? So MSFvenom. We can just create another the one that isn't staged, is it... What does it look like? You can use the same one. Yeah, I guess I can just use the same one. In which case I don't need to move this. I just need to move this into the root directory, right? So port 443 should be freed up now. So I can just create the same thing. Let's go into MSF console again. And then set up our handler. It's already is it still occupying port 443? Well, I think it should be freed up as soon as... Let me test it out. Use multi handler. Show options. Set port. Set L port. Set L host. Let me get... Okay, and set payload to this thing. Ooh, no. this thing. Okay, and then we can nothing else that we need to do, right? Okay. Yeah. So port 443 becomes freed up after the connection is received. So we can use the same port as the last one. So let's go over. Oh, this is perfect. I need this file path. Okay, so copy this. How do I put it in the current directory? Is it /? Well, let's just use this. Okay. Alright, so this is copied over now. What was the name of that file? Let's see. Rename reverse.exe to .net.exe. Okay, here it is. So, how do we reset the service? An attacker can place a malicious executable in C or in any intermediate directory. Execute the code with the privileges of the vulnerable service. How do we restart the .NET .exe service? Okay, open the command prompt and run the command. We need to have administrative privileges. First stop the service, then start the service again. Okay. Let's see if I can run this command as my current user. I don't know what this says. Okay, we got it. Okay. Let's see if we're actually NT authority system. Yes. All right. We did it. We're root. Okay. You know what that means.
What are you?
I'm system root.
What? Our interpreter session died. What the hell? Okay, we need to investigate this.
What are you?
I'm system root.
Alright, let's get out of here. Interpreter... Okay, let's try that again. Net stop PE service. Net start PE service. Okay. All right, let's try to get these credentials before my shell dies again. Okay. Just before the interpreter session died. So, I guess if I was a good pen tester, I should probably figure out how to get a stable shell. But I got my flag. So I might do... I'm curious if get system would work since you had SE impersonate. You know what? Get system. Get system. You mean... Are you talking about... Yeah, it's the interpreter command. Yeah. Let me submit my flag first. So this was quoted. And let's submit that flag. Okay, done. As far as get system with this over here, so I have how do I go back? Go back into my interpreter again. Was it exit? Exit, right? Exit. Get system. Nope. Not from here. I might... Yeah. Okay. Alright, well... We're finished ahead of schedule, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, not a bad box. Definitely not super complicated, which I really appreciated. And so everybody... What I was thinking of doing for some future content was going through Echo CTF. So if anybody doesn't know, this is another. I know all sorts of hacking education platforms, but if you want to check this out, this is actually a really fun. This is a really fun platform, and if you know it, please let us know. If you don't know it, also please let us know. But I just wanted to point out some of the cool things about this platform. Let me get my credentials. Hold on. Okay, so this is Echo CTF. So what this has a lot of different CTF type targets, and so for example, they've got these networks over here, and this is another one of these platforms where you have to VPN into their network in order to access the machines. And over here, you can download a VPN key, I think. Yeah. So you can download a VPN key to get access to the network. And they've got this great little beginners CTF network over here. And I really want to do a walkthrough for all of these targets over here. There's about... How many of these? I think there's like 18 different challenges over here. And I really want to work through these because I think this would be great content for my YouTube channel. But if anybody wants to take a look, it's just over here. And for people who want to do some challenges that are a little bit more difficult, they've got a lot of other stuff in their networks. They've got 42 different machines over here. and their different networks. They've got 46 machines over here, 20 over here, 22 over here, and it's a great little place to do some. Well, I mean, I guess if you're doing a lot of CTF boxes, you have a lot of different platforms to choose from as far as where to get your challenges from. But yeah, I really want to go through this sometime, maybe in the next couple weeks, because I'm kind of starting to run out of machines over at HackMyVM and over on VulNyx, which is where I've been doing a lot of my tutorials thus far. But anyways, we're done a little bit early, but I want to find somebody who we can raid. So let's go over to infosecstreams.com. I am, as usual, the only person who's streaming right now. Let's see who's on Twitch. So we've got the Science stream. There's Linus Tech Tips. Okay. Who else is doing? So if anybody has some recommendations or somebody to raid, please let us know. Science and technology or software. The Science stream, astronomy show. Hold on. Oh, here I am. Let's take a look at software and game development. Oh, CM Griffing is on right now. So CM Griffing is a pretty good channel for coding. So if you're looking for more coding action, then please stick around for the raid. We're gonna raid CM Griffing. Just let me just grab his Twitch channel name. Okay, so let's see. What day is it today? It's Friday. Wow, that was quick. Jeez. TGIF, everybody. And we're going to be skipping the weekend as usual. We're going to be back on Monday for more hacking action. But before we raid CM Griffing, let's do one last. Thank you very much to everybody who stuck around. Thank you for Pebble and Ronin, my two hacker buddies. And thank you very much to GX000 for holding it down. Now I'll see you for steak dinner next week. But until then, have a great weekend, and we will see you next time. But before we go, let's do one last Hack the Planet.
Hack the planet! Hack the planet! Shut up again!
Oh, if you could please type in the raid message, hip hop hack OS frog, I would really appreciate that. Thank you very much.